Hi, good morning and welcome to the Pure Energy Healing Academy. Welcome to Mark Bayerski YouTube channel and welcome to a glorious morning of uplifting and inspirational messages and food for thought. Thought. As you all know, I have dyslexia and I'm not the best of I have never studied English properly. In fact, my sister Anna when I used to come home from school, I used to run upstairs to a bedroom and put my homework, and she used to do all my homework because she had the brains. She'd got like 3 degrees, and I got 3 degrees, but on LP. So she helped me with all my homework, but still, I was. Anyway, by the by, today's subject is a very deep one, and one that we need to sort of brace ourselves and really look really deep. Now, free will, our life path and journey, has it already been mapped out for us before we came here? It's a really interesting one, isn't it? Because it goes against each other. It's like a conflict of interest completely. If our journey has already mapped out for us, if everything is as it should be, if we're meant to pass into the spirit world back home again at a certain point, if we are meant to have a child or not have a child in this world, or a partner or not a partner, and if that's the case, what's the point of free will? Can you understand? Okay, well, first of all, not everybody has all the answers. And you look outside asking people for the answer, and it's a bit like people going to a psychic fair. All they do is spend all day going round to every single reader waiting for the answer they want to hear. You know what I mean? If you ever want to go for a psychic reading, go for one and then leave. That's your answer. So let's try and tackle it. Okay. Coupled with this energy is the energy of, you've probably heard it loads of times, we are only given what we can conquer, what we can achieve. So we're never given anything that we can't overcome. This is another bold statement by whoever, we all use that metaphor, but let's break all of these things down. Free will, is everything mapped out? Are our paths already chosen? Okay. Well, let's start with free will. It's obvious that when we walk out of the door, the decision we make, whether we walk left or right, is either one of two choices. One, we can either just say, what the heck, and just follow whichever path. And the other one is to make a conscious or a mind decision to look around and say, you know what, I think I'd like to go that way because of this reason. Okay, so they're the choices. This is free will. A lot of the times I've been trying to help you, instead of making these conscious decisions, try, because most of us do, because that's what we've been programmed to do, right? From a child. As soon as we come out, we're pulled out and sent straight to school and do this, read this, memorize that, do what I say, blah, blah, blah. So we make these, conscious mind decisions because of how we've been programmed as a child. And what I've tried to do or share with you is to say, well, you've tried that. Why not try this? Why not try just flowing? And what the heck? Doesn't matter which way you go, left or right, it takes you to the same place anyway. So the way I try and help myself, because I practice what I preach, is it doesn't matter. You take your dog for a walk, okay? Why don't you let the dog take you for a walk? You never know, your doggy might take you to places that you've never been. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Instead of being in control, why don't you just set yourself free? Okay, so if all paths lead to the same place, then free will is definitely attached to that, but the outcome will always be the same-ish. Okay, that's kind of like how I see things. So you can smash down a door to get to something, or you can just say, you know what, that door's locked, and go another direction, and eventually you'll get to the same place as the door that you were smashing down to get to. But in my world, I say, Why take all that frustration, energy and time in doing that when you can enjoy the journey to get to the same place? Do you see where I'm coming from? Do you see how I see life now? I try and make the best in everything in life. Instead of forcing or banging down a door, I'll just go in another direction. You see, if something's blocking us, like that door, I don't say, oh my God, you need to knock the door down. I just walk around it or jump over it or go under it. And then, you know, eventually I go, hang on a minute, maybe that wall has been put there for me because some wise soul, some universal energy said, hey, stop a minute, this path here might be a little bit challenging, so why don't you turn her back or turn to another direction and let us lead you somewhere else. See, most of us scream and shout because we want to be over there, and yet when we're stopped, we believe that there's something against us. Whereas I believe it's a positive and we're being helped and looked after. You've heard me say it before. Why do people scream and shout at you? Well, maybe they scream and shout at you because they show their true colours instantly. Which means you go, oh, thanks for that. I really appreciate that. What do you mean? Well, at least I know who you are now, so I don't have to spend all my time being with you and then getting hurt even more. Eventually in the time that we share together. So now you've showed your true colours. Thank you very much. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody, for showing me that. Nice and easy. I'm on my way. Why is it that you always think everything's against you? Why do we do that when actually the universe or God or your spirit family or whatever, your higher intuition, what's connected, isn't all of that working for you with everything that happens to you? Oh, this has all gone wrong. No, it's all gone right. Actually, it's all gone right. It's all a protection. It's all love. Mark, my husband took his life. I thought you said that there is nothing that we are given that we can't conquer. That is indeed a very, very deep question, and one that I still challenge myself with every day. I couple that energy with free will. We have a choice. When my first wife left me and I had tablets in my hand and I was on the floor, I heard a voice, which I now know who that voice is. And that voice woke me up at the moment that my tablets were in my mouth, because I didn't want to be here anymore. I didn't think there was anything worth living for. Can you imagine that? Look at where I am now and how happy I am, and how many friends like you guys are out there who send me messages every day saying thank you. And I think that's why I didn't go. But you only know after. But when you're in such a bad place, which I was, and maybe people don't hear that voice and they think it's easier to leave this world because their family will be happier and safer, you can truly understand why some people really, really feel that they want to go. Because life is damn hard sometimes, it is. And if we've had no love or no understanding of the path that we're on, we only see black and white. I don't have the answer for that. I don't really know the answer. Is there an answer? Does everybody have the answer to everything? Is that what life is about? Are we here to want to know all the answers, or is it, or could it be that when we move back into the light and we take our own life, that we then judge ourselves to what happened and why we did it, and maybe we come back again to try one more time till we get it right? People often ask me, is it wrong or right to take your life? Who am I to say? Who are you to say? Who is anybody to say? How do you know what that person felt like at that very moment, like I was when I was on the floor ready to put these tablets in my mouth and go? You know, my beautiful little baby boy Nico, I no longer have him in my arms every night, you know, and love him and feed him. You know, my beautiful wife is no longer with me anymore. What's life about anymore? It's finished. There's no point. And I understand when people, I do understand when people have those thoughts of wanting to take their life. But I often smile and say, this is your most challenging moment, and if you can overcome this moment, your life will be amazing from then on. Because I believe it is one of our most powerful lessons and challenges that we have to go through in life. Not all of us, and not all the time. But I think one of them is that where we are so low, where we can't hit the rock bottom anymore, then we have the choice of whether we pull ourselves back up and become stronger, or we go home. Is there wrong and right? I don't believe there is wrong or right. I just think it's just going back home thinking, oh, what an idiot. Now, look what I've done. Right, I have to go back again. I just believe this world is a learning world, and we feel so much pain and suffering because of what we do to people when we take our life and we go back home. That's the painful thing. But then the question is there, did I come into this world to have a father who I knew was going to take his life? So then I had to become stronger and break the mold of my father. You see, it becomes so deep, and that's why the bigger picture is always there for us to look at if we're able to, if we dare ourselves to go deeper and look and try and see the bigger pictures. But we don't have all the answers. No, nobody does. And if you're looking for the answers from other people, well, to be honest with you, how can they possibly tell you that unless they truly have taken their life and then move to the spirit world and then come back again because somebody saved them again and said, actually, I've been there and this is how it feels. But then that's their experience. It's not yours. So from one person to another, it's very difficult to give an overall one answer to anything in life. It really is, because each individual path, each thing that you go through, the painful situations are yours, nobody else's. There may be similarities, but never, ever anything exactly the same. So, my belief is that there are certain things in life that are put along a life path journey, and there are many life path journeys that we have, and we can choose many of them. So, I kind of feel that it doesn't matter which way I go, I'll always come to a certain point where the challenge I gave myself will present itself. So I can choose this way or that way, I can flow that way or this way, but I'll end up going to the same place where I need to overcome, say, like a divorce or another divorce, like now, or the loss of my mum when I was a child to be able to become stronger. Somebody asked me, why do you think your mum passed into the light the other day? And I'll tell you why now. When my mum was here, I was a spoiled brat completely. And, I got everything that I wanted because I was really spoiled. My mum just loved me and she'd do anything for me. And I was quite I look back now and think, gosh, really spoiled. And as soon as she passed, my dad wasn't a loving, kind, caring man in that sense. So then I had to fend for myself, and I had to realise, oh my God, I haven't got my mum anymore, and now I have to really I've got to do this on my own. And that energy of being spoiled had disappeared a lot more. And I'm not spoiled now, I don't think, but no, I don't feel I'm spoiled. I would say if I felt I was spoiled, but I'm not. But there is trait marks there that sometimes kick in. But in general, I've worked hard all my life. I've loved all my life, I've cared for all my life, and I've always wanted to give all my life. So I think spoil has a coupled energy with me, and I don't think I've got that within me. I like to share my love, I like to help people, I like people to laugh. So when my mum passed, I think, looking back, if she was still in this world now, I wouldn't be the person that I am. I'd probably have been a spoilt brat and a spoilt older man brat, and not the person that I am. So I kind of look back and think, yeah, I understand all of this now. It's making a lot more sense. Plus the fact that my mum's always with me and she helps me all the time um, along this journey of healing. She comes forward and helps me all the time. I think I don't really think I've got anything else to say other than that today, guys. I'm not sure if this helped you at all along the journey of life and you know, the coming and going of life and taking our own life. And I'm going to share a little story before we finish, and that was I was introduced to a man in the village who asked me a few years ago if I would consider working in a position, in a job in Switzerland. And this man was going to open up a euthanasia clinic, basically where you can take your own life. And he was just planning everything together, and the wage I was going to get was phenomenal. And I said, have you done any studying about me at all? Do you know anything about me? And he said, yes, I've done a lot of studying. You're a perfect person to help people move into the light and for them to accept that. And I said, if you really know me, you would understand that my morals of life is that I love life, and that life is so challenging and so difficult that these challenges and tests are there for us to grow stronger. If I was to help somebody take their life and say it's okay, it would go against everything that I believe in. I have no issue with people who go through so much pain that want to take their life, but my belief is that we come here to learn and experience from those pains till the moment we leave, and I want to share my love and my healing with people till the very last moment, so then they can at least say when they go home, I conquered that. Not that they took their life and then think, oh, I've got to go back and learn that one again. So I declined that job, as I have a lot of jobs that I felt go against what my feelings are at any given moment. So I'm not one for money. I never have been, up to the point of 12 years ago. I let all that go, and I feel good about that. You know, I'm not bought. I'm not paid for by the state, or like. Unfortunately, our governments and the people who work in there they're all bought and paid for. They all sell their souls, and I think a lot of us in life are tested that way. That's why money is here as well. Somebody once says we all have a price. We can all be bought. I can honestly say with my hand on my heart that that's not true with me at all. I am living proof of that, because I have many people wanting to put me in their wills because they love me, and I've said, don't you dare, don't you dare. Can you imagine what your family's like when we're all sat in the solicitor's office and, now Mr. Johnson, your mother's left you half of the money, and Mark, the psychic healer, she's left you half. Yeah, right. Get ready for a good slap in the face for the rest of your life, Mark. No, and for that, money isn't important, because you know what? If I've got €1 in my pocket for a coffee in the morning, I'm the happiest guy in the world. A long time ago, if I didn't have £500 in my pocket when I went out drinking, I wouldn't be a man. You see how things have changed in my life after 12 years on a spiritual journey? It's amazing. So I think if there's one thing I want to leave you on, it's this. Always be true to yourself. Listen to your heart. And never ever follow the money, and never ever let money be your God. Be your own truth, be your own power, and listen to the love inside you, and you'll never be let down. You'll always be the richest soul in the world. Some people are so poor that all they have is money. You and I, we have love, and we live in inner peace. Have a great day, guys. I love you all. From Mark Bajerski YouTube channel. Take care, guys. I love you. Thanks for listening today. I hope this message serves you well. I really do. From me and Daisy Doos, have a great day. Bye, guys.